Good afternoon, everyone. We start our working day at the press center of Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Now the floor is given to Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson on ADO-related issues. Good afternoon, everyone. The situation in the anti-terror operation zone yesterday got the signs of escalation. The enemy increased the number of intensity of shellings and used mortars. And now, in more detail, the Lugansk sector, the enemy 5 times opened precision and dense fire with the use of small arms at the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine near Oleksandrovka and Popasna, near Stanitsa Luganska and Valushka. These shellings were reinforced with the use of hand grenade launchers, and our forces returned fire with the use of small arms. And the most tense situation at the line of conflict was in the Donetsk sector. Here, Russian occupation forces 20 times shelled positions of Ukrainian forces, and 17 shellings were precision ones. Firing activity of the militants was reinforced during 2 hours, and they shelled with grenade launchers and machine guns. The positions of Ukrainian forces were shelled near Shakhta-Butivka position, and Ukrainian forces returned fire with the arms at hand. And the majority of firing provocations were recorded in the region of Shakhta-Butivka, Kamenka, and near Avdiivka. And the enemy delivered 4 precision shellings in the direction of detachments of the armed forces of Ukraine, and these shellings lasted from the start of the day until late in the evening. And in Artemovo, the occupants used 82mm mortar, launching 4 mines, and a little bit later, Zaitsev defenders were shelled by armored vehicle, and the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine were shelled after 2 p.m. with the use of 82mm mortar at the residential quarter in Zalizne. The enemy launched 9 mines, and in the result of the shelling, the local resident was wounded. She was provided with medical help, and now her state of health is satisfactory. The Mariupol sector, illegal armed formations delivered 11 precision shellings in the direction of the positions of our detachments, and they were active in the morning and in the evening. And the biggest fire impact was delivered in the region of Vodyane, where there were 6 enemy shellings, and the enemy used mortar of 82mm of caliber and launched at our positions 3 shells. And in the suburbs of Pavlopil, the enemy launched 6 shells using 120mm caliber mortar. And in the region of Novotroitsk at about midnight, the enemy used weaponry of APCs and grenade launchers. The Ukrainian forces returned fire with the use of service weapon. And on the whole, we should say that during the last 24 hours along the line of contact, the enemy delivered 36 shellings, including 33 precision shellings. In the majority of cases, Ukrainian forces returned fire with the use of weapons that is not banned by Minsk agreements. Unfortunately, in the result of the military actions, there were losses among servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine. 2 servicemen died and 2 were wounded. In the evening, in shelling delivered by the enemy near Kamenka, 1 serviceman died. And near Nevelske, 1 serviceman blew up on an unknown explosive device, and he got deadly trauma. And 1 serviceman of the armed forces of Ukraine was wounded near Pavlopil, and also in the region of Shakhta-Butivka position, 1 serviceman of the armed forces of Ukraine was traumatized. And we should note that all wounded were timely evacuated to medical institutions, where they are now provided with all necessary medical assistance. Our hearts go out to the servicemen who died for Ukraine. According to information provided by main intelligence department, 8th Army of the Southern Military District Commission came to the occupied territories. And the aim of such a visit is to find out the battle readiness situation, mobilization, equipment, and also additional security measures are provided by the so-called Ministries of State Security, headed by the representatives of Federal Security Service of Russia. And for this, they organized search and detention of pro-Ukrainian people, blocking of settlements, and search of people who are not loyal to occupation power. Also, intelligence service informs that occupants continue to commit crime that lead to the death of local residents. So in Inakova, one militant, while being under influence of alcohol, hit by three teenagers who died from traumas. And in order to mark the Day of Defender of Ukraine, amateur group Perevesla from Vinnychina visited with a special concert, visited the Ukrainian servicemen with special concert. And the artists, the performers delivered folk songs and songs that were born in 80. And in Kharkiv, they marked 140 years from the foundation of Military Medical Clinical Center of the southern of the northern region. And from the start of 80, Kharkiv medics were among the first who started to provide medical help to servicemen, and now we may call them frontline hospital, and they share their experience with all the doctors of the world. So there is a 65th mobile hospital in the framework of this institution, and it provided medical assistance to 21,000 Ukrainian servicemen and law enforcers, and 8,000 servicemen were delivered to Kharkiv, those who were wounded or traumatized in action. So thank you very much and goodbye.